I remember the time when they never used to click me, and I used to feel like, यार ऐसे क्यों नहीं click करते?
You
ये
can't
होता
complain
था.
now.
Let them click.
Now I can't complain. Now I can't complain.
I've been through the lows and I've seen the highs. I've seen the shift in behavior towards you. But it's a big learning. Hi, I'm Kiara Advani.
Hi, I'm Kartik Aaryan, and we had a wonderful chat with Anupama Chopra ji. And please like, share, and subscribe to Film Companion.
Kartik and Kiara, it's so lovely to have you back on Film Companion. You know, I was looking at both your filmographies and I feel like there's a lot of similarities. I mean, both of you started working like some 10 years ago, roughly?
Roughly.
8,
yeah, 8, 10, roughly.
Almost that time. COVID ने 2 साल बढ़ा दिए.
Yeah.
But दोनों ने like, you worked your way up, you know, step by step. And I was just wondering, when you have that, when you've done that, and you know, 8, 10 years is a long time. It's not by any measure an overnight success. Does a project like Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2 become even more exciting because you come from scratch and you are now, in a way, stepping into the very big shoes of Akshay and Vidya. Of course, this is a new film, new characters, etc., etc. But still, you're carrying forward that world. Is it sweeter because you worked?
Is it sweeter?
We'll know when the film releases if it was sweeter. But I think it's interesting that you said that because we were just talking about it in the other interviews that we've had a very similar journey in a way. In fact, when I was debuting in my first film, Fugly, I was at my director's office when I met Kartik. And his movie Pyar Ka Panchnama had come out by then, and my director told me, you must watch this movie to get the tone, because this actor has got the tone of Delhi, and he's got that, you know, the flavor, just because I was a Bombay girl. And then I met him at the office. He was there for some work, and we've crossed paths several times in our careers. But it was only till Bhool Bhulaiyaa that we actually worked together, got to know each other. And I feel maybe subconsciously there is an understanding, because we've seen a similar journey, not exactly, but there have been those highs and lows that we've both, you know, seen individually, not had that success right in the beginning, then kind of like really worked your way, then getting recognition, figuring out what to do with it. There's so much, you know, each step of the way you learn so much. Now, I think for us to be doing a film at this stage in our careers where, and like you said, like Bhool Bhulaiyaa, just sitting here and having this conversation is making me reflect on the fact that it is very sweet, I guess, because what a legacy to take forward, what a franchise to be a part of. It also sounds like a lot of pressure right now. Help me, it's not that I'm at a loss of words now.
It's surreal. It's surreal to be a part of a franchise that's so big, and names that were attached to the film were really big and have always been this big. We'll be fooling ourselves if we continue saying that comparison may, you know, I've been saying this enough, कि you can't compare us.
Of course.
And it's not a right thing to do, because they are too big a shoe to fill, or, you know, you just can't. So that's the reason I think when we started the journey with Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2 also, we took it as a new film. And of course, it's a new film, it's an original idea, it's a sequel to the world of Bhool Bhulaiyaa. But primarily what we are doing, what we are playing, they are all new characters with elements of nostalgia of Bhool Bhulaiyaa. So I think it feels really nice. It feels like when I saw the film Bhool Bhulaiyaa, when I'd seen it, I never thought that I would be offered a part in Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2, and now we are actually doing this interview about Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2, and hopefully कुछ
20th में only.
Fingers crossed.
अच्छा ही होगा.
अच्छा ही होगा.
You know, but comedy is very hard to do.
Yeah,
it's I don't think it's the toughest thing to do, right? And of course, since this is a new characters in the same old world, but you don't have the burden of that continuity, that, you know, you have to kind of take something from there, but then you have to invent your own, right? How did you find the sur for the comedy?
I feel like
he's just lobbing it all to you. he's outsourcing this one. He's tired. He's like, bolo.
इसमें firstly comedy भर के है because this one has got. He doesn't need any, sir. He's waiting for someone to ask him to like just start the scene so that he can do what he does best. But I truly feel that a lot of it is in just the spontaneity of the moment, and it was also very well written. I think Anis sir's, I mean, that's his forte. He's great when it comes to this genre. He's great when it comes to comedy. Here it's also a lot of situational comedy because when you are in a space of horror and when things aren't going as expected and then suddenly something happens and you break into a comic moment, and it also seems like a moment that comedy is a great way to kind of escape certain emotions that you're going through. So I feel it's very interestingly used in the film. And it's a lot to do with also the characters when you have Rajpal sir playing Chota Pandit and from the original, that's again bringing a nostalgic element into the film. And you have Sanjay Mishra and you have a cast that has such interesting characters. I think it's like a package, if I may say that. It just makes the scene exciting. I think it has a lot to do with situation, with characters, with characterization. And then sir just making us be true to that moment. Like he would always say, just play it seriously. Never try to be funny or think.
Never laugh at your own jokes.
Never laugh at your own jokes.
He said you have a ajeeb si badmashi.
Who said?
Anis
sir said. ये अजीब बात किसने की?
ये अजीब बात उन्होंने की. So what does that mean?
He finds me naughty. He finds that कुछ ना कुछ इसके दिमाग में चलता रहता है, kind of a situation with me. जब भी वो मुझे मिलते हैं कि क्या चल रहा है आपके दिमाग में. So that is his first question.
खुराफाती.
हाँ, खुराफाती. थोड़ा सा है, कुछ सोचता रहेगा, कुछ यहाँ पे है लेकिन कुछ और चीज के बारे में सोच रहा होगा. So that kind of a character वो उनके दिमाग में है मुझे लेके. शायद मैं हूँ भी. I don't know. But so that is what it is. But he likes that ajeeb. I know that.
He said it with affection.
Yeah, he likes it.
Yeah. He likes it. Okay, what do you, when you guys are looking at someone like Tabu, right, who's just such a veteran and an actor who has such ease in front of the camera that you don't see the strings working, right? You never see her
not at all
straining. Yeah. What do you take away from that? Like, are there practical lessons you learn?
I think both personally and professionally.
Yeah.
When you watch her on perform, firstly, she's so honest in a scene that sometimes it really helps as co-actors. You just, when the person in front of you is giving so much and you just connect, your eyes just meet and it's just, you're there, 100% there. And then the ability to switch off and be so chilled out the minute the camera is not rolling, chat with Anisa about stories of, the older days and how things used to be and, common factors and things they would share. And really, we'd be sitting there like, why don't we have so many stories? I mean, when you sit with veterans, it's so interesting to hear how they would make films. They would have so many of these stories. And it's just, they're just so easy on set and that also shows in front of the camera. I don't think they're not so particular about, I don't know, I feel like there's just a very inherent sense of ease.
Yeah.
Whether it's in front of the camera, whether it's, the character they're playing, whether it's comedy, whether it's a serious scene. I've never seen her, like you said, I've never seen everything else working. She's just easy. You don't know, I'm sure there is so much and it's all there, but it's like, she's like that swan. You don't know what's below the water, but she's just beautiful as she
I want to elaborate on this also, that I've had scenes where there's a lot to do. It's exactly what Kiara is saying almost. Ki you don't know what she's up to, and I've learned that ability. I've tried to. Ki when she's performing, I almost felt कि अच्छा यार कुछ नहीं किया यार इन्होंने तो इसमें बहुत कुछ कर. But when you see it on monitor, you feel those nuances, those small things, and it's with such ease that you feel like you've really come to an acting school or a course. You're watching someone really perform over there, without making, कि एक हवा नहीं बनाती उस बात का कि oh what a performance.
Correct. I'm acting.
And
I'm
she's
acting.
done
It's not there.
Yeah.
It's always like कि it's with ease. It's with that calmness, and she's off screen also. She's that calm person who's just chilling with you, and she's again वो किस्से बता रही हैं, कुछ कहानियां बता रही हैं, वो सारी बातें हो रही हैं. एंड ऑन स्क्रीन ऑल्सो शी इज दैट चिल्ड आउट कि अनीस सर बोल रहे हैं कि यहाँ आप खड़े हो जाइए. अच्छा सर मैं यहाँ खड़ी हो जाऊँ? हाँ ठीक है मैं यहाँ खड़ी हो जाऊँ. कैसे बोलना है वो डायलॉग, he'll tell her also and she will reciprocate and she'll do the exact same thing. But there will be a nuance which will be like out of this world and you would feel ki what an actor.
Sorry, I cut him off in the middle, but I was saying she's done. I think some of the most difficult scenes performed in this film have been by Tabu ma'am. And to see her do it, like I don't know, maybe she's prepping in her van. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. Like,
some shit's going down.
ऐसे नहीं हो सकता यार. Something's going down.
It goes away like this. So something is
Something's fishy.
No, we have to get this
figure it out. Yeah. You know, this is of course in a sense a spiritual sequel, right? I think that that's what these films are called, right? Like it's in spirit the same type of thing. Your last film Dhamaka was a remake of a Korean film. Your biggest hit Kabir Singh has also been a remake. Do you get a sense as actors, does that give you any sense of security in terms of box office, or like why is there so much of this repetition?
See, I'd be lying if I said no. Because I feel that does give you a sense of, see, it works both ways. For example, when the trailer of Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2 came, before it came out, we were prepared that there would be a section of the audience that would naturally compare it with the first, with a very, like, they'd be with a magnifying glass, like, isne kya kiya hai, and all of that. So we were prepared for that. But then we also had that little, you have that feeling that because it's a franchise of such a cult film, you know that the audience is looking for what have they done.
Absolutely.
So
there's a
built-in pros and cons for sure. It's got its pros and cons for sure. But then at the end of the day, like I'll just speak on this film. The others became a success. All of that is on its own. But here, I feel like it's a franchise, and definitely Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2. It's got weightage. But the story, and I think even from the trailer, as you can see, it's a different take on the spooky world. It's a fresh story. It's a new story. So now how the film does will be on the film. I think it's every asset now that comes is what people will see, what this film has to offer. Eventually, they'll look at it as a fresh film, you know. I think only that trailer launch day gave us a sense of, is it going to be, the nervous energy. But now you know you're looking at the world as a new film as you go ahead, and then you will decide, okay, but do I want to see this film or not? So we'll know now.
I feel it adds on. I mean, if it's a sequel to a big franchise, big film, it does add on. But then again, वो film की capability और film के ऊपर होता है कि क्या वो film चलेगी. There are so many sequels.
Kartik, does it give you comfort as an actor when you're choosing?
There have been a lot of sequels which have come my way, and I've said no. So it's not just that I'm just, you know, say तो it has to have that connect with the. As an actor also, I should also feel कि यार ये story में दम है.
Right.
While performing also and while saying yes to it.
You're also, of course, doing Allah Vaikunta Purubalo.
Yeah. उधर ही आ रहा था.
I got it. I can pronounce it.
Allah Vaikunta Purumallu.
Correct. Pulumallu. Okay. I messed up the end.
Yeah. I hope I haven't messed up.
पता चले I was right.
पता चले you were right.
नहीं तो Kartik, again, though that's a very, very famous, much loved character. How do you make that your own then? I
don't know. I just don't take that pressure.
You're not thinking about it.
I am not thinking about, should I do something like exactly like how it was done over there, or those questions don't bother me. Because Rohit Dhawan, he has a really, I loved working with him, and I've enjoyed every bit of shooting Shehzada with him. He's like my brother, and the way he's given his all to this film, I don't think so there would be any other director who would be able to do justice to this film as Rohit has, and he has added his own ideas, his own elements, and we've really, I think when the film comes out, Shehzada will have its own identity, not to take away from what Allah has made. It was a beautiful movie, and Allu Arjun, he outperformed, and he really performed so well in the film. We are all his fans. But when it comes to Shehzada, of course, Rohit has an idea regarding the film. There are certain areas he wants to do something different, maybe, and so he's taken on the idea, but he's given his
its own spin
to it. So which I really like about that film. So there's no added pressure. It's a new film again for us, and we are enjoying it.
Yeah, I guess that's the way to approach it, right?
Yeah,
you can't take on that pressure in any case.
100%.
You know, I want to talk a little bit about just the construction of sort of modern day stardom, right? Which is what both of you are. Now, I was told a couple of days ago that actually actors are now paying paps to follow them around, to post their pictures. Social media is such a big thing, and both of you have like millions and millions of followers. How much of this do you work at, consciously work at, because it is a part of what you do now?
To be very honest, I don't think I put so much thought into it. I think my management and my PR would put better thought into it than me. But I can't take on that pressure in life. I feel I don't know, I think to each his own, but personally I feel I've always been let your work speak. And I feel like I think there's enough on our plate with the work that we're doing that I prefer it when it's genuine. So I feel even if I'm talking to my fans on Instagram or however I do keep in touch with them, I like that it's genuine. I like that they feel at ease. That, I mean, like till date I handle my own accounts. I don't have a team handling. Everything's organic. I make a lot of blunders. I change captions in the wrong way, and then I'll get digital calls from TV, film posting. But don't you have a team doing it? They're like, no, she doesn't give us the password. Only she knows it. But it works for me. I think so far it's not felt like there's a pressure to change that, and it's not felt like a pressure on me while I've been, just keeping it as real as I could and as what's comfortable for me.
I love social media. I enjoy Instagram and Instagram family that I have. I enjoy interacting with them. So same. I can never give my social media account to anyone. It has to be me, and that's the reason. I mean, be it from small things to a photograph to a caption, it's all me. And it's all my personality which is over there. And that's what I think matters to a lot of fans also, that they have, उनको एक मौका मिल जाता है शायद से मेरे से interact करने का, and subsequently with all the stars as well. So I think that is a special connect that I feel with my fans through digital world, and I enjoy that again. And yeah, I mean with pap culture, I think they अभी जब भी वो photos खींच रहे हैं नहीं खींच रहे हैं, it's part and parcel of your job, and I think I'm okay with it. Sometimes you do feel कि यार यहाँ पे photo नहीं होती तो यार.
I found some secret ways to exit the airport finally.
ये सब ढूंढना पड़ता है, ये सब चीजें.
Every day, sometimes you want to just be chill.
Sometimes you don't want to get tapped. I mean, hats off to their job, hats off to what they are doing.
Oh, of course. They're working
they
hard.
are working really hard for a photograph.
Yeah.
And
and sometimes their pictures are better than the ones we take.
100%.
Then we post theirs.
कई बार ऐसा लगता है यार इसने फोटो अच्छी खींची है.
Yeah.
अबे ये ज़्यादा फोटो use कर लेते हैं हम use कर लेते हैं.
So now they make reels and all of it. Now it's not photos anymore, it's videos. Right. I feel
so I remember the time when they never used to click me. Yeah. And I used to feel like यार ऐसे क्यों नहीं click करते हैं? ये होता था.
Now let them click.
Now I can't complain. Now I can't complain.
I also want to ask you about those times, right? I mean, people said to you on your face that tera kuch nahi hoga. Go back to, Gwalior. Yeah. Right? You talked about a time when you were trying to get some designer clothing, and you said nobody would respond to me, but Manish reached out to you, and that's why you really have a place in your heart for him. And which seems like a small thing, like, oh, big deal, she couldn't get clothes, but there is so much pressure to look a certain way, and it can be very hurtful when people aren't responding. How did the two of you just power through that? Just again sort of put the blinkers on and say, we're just going to keep going.
Well, you kind of have to eventually. You can't also take these things too personally, because at the end of the day, it is a business. Everybody's, I get where things come from. Today, I understand where those people would have come from. But then I feel, I mean, like for me, I connect strongly because you mentioned Manish's name. I do feel there's certain people who've reached great heights in their field, in their work, where they don't have to live up to this social norm of okay, just speaking of clothing now, I'm not getting into everything, but say just this particular incident. I feel like, you know, so there's this thing that, okay, let's be exclusive as a brand, let's not give everyone, let's not do this. And I'm talking about maybe like 7-8 years ago, where I understand why, because then even as actors today, you don't want to wear what everybody is wearing and you want to, you know, wear the different stuff, or now suddenly it's become international, that nonsense goes on, okay? And this is the pressure. This is the pressure, apparently. My style, all stylists will
International kapde pehnne.
Hote hai, ye hota hai. Nah, I'm like, whatever, like who cares? I used to my own stuff.
Correct. Indian will not do.
Indian will not do. So these are all these other things. But anyway, at that point, there was this thing, and I felt like Manish is one of those people who never looked at it like that. He never looked at it like, I'll give somebody something because they're successful or because they're not. Yeah. And in fact, whoever worked with me at that point, even Karan, I know he gets so much like hate for nepotism and all of that. But to be really honest, he took me when I was a nobody and nobody told him to. I was, in fact, I don't know if I must say this because I don't mean to disrespect anyone, but I was with a particular agency that was very close to him at that time. And they never pushed my name to work with him. Yeah. But it took a random, and they could have. I could have, you know, I must have even told them that, could you know, speak with him and see if he can get an audition and things like that. And they didn't. But that would have been a much easier way. Yeah. But it took a random party, a random night for him to see me and call me the next day and say, you know what, I'm making this film. And I really feel like, you know, there's something about you. There's this innocence that I want to tap into, and I feel, would you like to come and hear it? And I just felt like, first I was like, Karan Johar is calling me. But people always have this thing that there's this nepotism. It must be there. I'm not saying it's not there. But these are people who are supremely successful. Sure. But they didn't have that apprehension. They didn't approach me like that. They didn't only come to me because I was successful. There are people who do that, who come to you only after, you know, you are successful.
Most would do that. Yeah.
But my journey, I have experienced it with such stalwarts who've taken me when I was nothing. Yeah. And that's why I have a lot of regard for them. And that's why even as a person, I don't look at it like that. Like I won't treat people that way, because I don't feel that's the way to go about it. And I feel somewhere there is a sense of, you know, you just see there's because I've been through the lows and I've seen the highs, I've seen the shift in behavior towards you.
It's so obvious.
It's amazing. It's funny.
It is funny.
It's really funny, to be honest.
Yes.
I don't take any of it seriously. Yeah. But it's a big learning. It makes you realize that
how fickle it is, no?
Yeah, and it also makes you realize how you are and how you want to be around, how you want to be with people, your behavior towards people. I feel that's something I won't change. Like I won't just be nice to someone because they're successful, or not, you know, give them that attention or that time because they're not. I feel like today also, if anybody calls me, I will hear their script, because you never know where you find one gem. You know, you don't have to be successful only to make good films. That gem can be anywhere. Yeah. And I feel it took a lot of people who had faith in me and who like spotted me. So I feel like you must
pay it forward.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree. Absolutely. And for you, Kartik?
What was the question again?
Kartik is fully tuned out.
Lots of interviews.
Just powering through. Just powering through.
First of all, मैं last में जो ये बोल रही थी कि you लोगों के बारे में पता लगता है आपको. And it's very it's sad actually. Honestly speaking, it makes you feel sad also. It makes me feel sad sometimes when you get to know it's because of your success. It's related to your success. It's not related to you. So I mean, of course I've learned it that हाँ ये इससे related है तो ये तब तक ही है. So you get scared also कि कल मैं अगर successful नहीं होऊंगा तो ये लोग नहीं होंगे साथ में. And so you don't know how to and when to or who to trust, you know, specifically because of this reason all the more. And so that is there. Now the question is, what was the question? I was just adding on to what Kiara said.
Just you know, getting through those moments when people said कि तुम घर चले जाओ.
So I always thought they were wrong. I always thought that maybe they didn't have the sensibilities. I don't know. I just had that confidence or it can be overconfidence, but I have always had this, that what I'm doing is for the right and I'm doing it logically, or it's something which I know, and that's my self-belief, and I've always had that. When I was not successful, when I was successful, when I'm not, whatever. वो highs lows हमेशा एक confidence मेरे अंदर खुद के लिए था, जो चाहे वो auditions में हो, चाहे वो films में हो. I've always stood by those things, and that has really helped me. That has really given me that what I am today is all because of that. I've never lost hope. I've never lost that persistence. I am a persistent guy, and in every manner. And मैं last तक अगर कोई चीज़ के पीछे पड़ा हूँ तो वो उसको करवा के रहूँगा, वैसा एक ढीठ हूँ मैं उस चीज़ में, तो वो मनवा के रहूँगा, वो वैसा है. और so yeah, in a very respectful manner, correct, in a good manner, but I would go at length, and so yeah, so that has been my superpower, I guess, till date, and I really hope that it continues. That self-belief, I should not doubt myself, and I feel the same for everyone else also. I think that is the main power that we have, to believe in ourselves.
Yeah. May I just add to that? You know, I feel like no matter whether you're successful or it's not working, your time is such that it's not working out for you, you still have to constantly prove yourself, at least in our industry. It's not that today the last few films have worked, so now suddenly, okay, these two actors are, you know, today's young gen, stars, whatever. Right. But tomorrow 2-3 don't work, you're written off. So every film is so important. I feel like we're constantly proving ourselves. I don't feel that feeling of wanting validation or the nervousness before a film, I don't think any of that goes, whether it was back then or now. Those emotions are the same, like none of that has changed.
मुझे तो डर लगता है कि फिल्में जल्दी आ जाए ना मेरी 2, तो यार पिछले फ्राइडे की तो पार्टी हुई नहीं, दूसरे फ्राइडे की प्रेशर आ गई.
That's going to be my state
वही बार-बार फोन करो हर महीने.
Well, as we said, you guys signed up for this, right? Right. This is the roller coaster you are on. You know. Okay. Last question, Kiara. What can you tell us about Shankar's film?
Oh God. I can tell you that I am very excited.
What a director.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
And I feel it every time I'm on set. I'm really working with, like, I mean, I see the passion. I see how meticulously he directs every frame. He knows who's, you know, even if it's like a massive background or, but what he wants, he'll not compromise on it. If it's taking you 1,000,000 takes, if they have to reset 1,000,000 times, he will not compromise on what he wants. And the ease and calmness with which he's, you know, is the captain of this ship, it just makes you calmer, because of course on film sets everything there are a lot of odds that you have.
It's stressful,
whether it's the wind, whether it's actors, background, anything. There's so many pressures on a director, I feel. But to keep that calm and have that focus and that love, and you can see and sense that love for his job. And he's such a dream director. The way he's got a great sense of humor. The way I feel like I want to say so many things, but I know I'm not allowed to because it's too early to speak on it. And they don't like promoting so much.
I know,
so I'm going to respect that and maybe talk to you at length when the film, you know, is going to near release. But what I can say is that I'm thoroughly enjoying the process of working with him and shooting this film. And I'm so excited for us to release it and for people to see it. It's definitely special.
And until then, there's Bhool Bhulaiyaa too. Yes. Good luck and thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.